Hey everyone, it's Andrew here with BTS Properties. If you are investing in Central Illinois, then keeping a pulse on the actual data of what's going on in our rental market is really the smartest way to make decisions about your portfolio. So today, I want to do a quick overview of our spring 2026 market update for Peoria and look at what is exactly happening with home prices, um, rental rates, and then what that means for us as investors and what we can do to kind of cope with that. So you'll get some actionable advice out of this. We'll see some market data, and we'll see what we can do to make sure that we are being proactive. So let's dive into it. Let's take a look at some data. I think that's the best way to kind of go about this. So let's take a look at sales data first. Looking at Redfin, we've seen about 8% year over year increase in median sales price, up to about $146,000 right now. Also, we've seen a shrink in inventory of about 8% and a reduction in median days on market of 6 days down to 25 days on market. I don't know why that's red. Should be green. That is moving in the right direction. But anyway, so what does that mean? Basically, that means that, again, this is Peoria. We don't want to bank on appreciation. That's my belief. I don't bank on big appreciation out of Peoria, but it is good to see that moving in the right direction. That means that our investments are continuing to grow in value and not fall in value. So holding on to properties right now has given an 8% return year over year. I did want to just really quickly look at this graph. I thought this was interesting. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but this one shows where people are moving to Peoria from and where people are leaving Peoria to. And you can see those top cities here. Anyway, so that's the sales. Let's jump over to the rental market. So looking at Zillow, for all bedrooms and property types in Peoria, the average rent right now is $1,075. Month over month, that has increased. Obviously, we're coming to winter. That makes sense. However, year over year, this is the important number that I think we need to take a look at. Year over year, we've seen this drop by $25. So what that means, if you guys have been in the market for the past 5 years or so, we know that after 2021, we have seen a pretty heavy increase in rental rates and the rent that we've been able to charge, and that the market has been allowing us to charge. So we've seen that increase year over year from about 2021, 2022 to 2024 or 5. And now what we're seeing is that start to plateau here and even possibly dip a little bit. So that is incredibly important to know, because that means that how we operated the last 4 years likely won't work moving into this year. And so we need to plan a little bit better. However, the average rent in Peoria is $1,075. The national average is $2,000. So we are still very affordable here in Peoria. I believe that's a good thing that we are below the national rent compared to above the national rent. So let's take a look. What does that actually mean? Why do we care about that? Sorry, just spoiled some of the fun there. All right, so why do we actually care about this? We need to understand how we need to operate moving forward. Like I said, it's not going to be the same as before. So what this means is previously we saw steep increases in rent. So if we had a turnover there, turnover is always the biggest cash flow killer. However, if we saw a turnover before, we could typically bring up the rents enough to cover that difference, to cover that turnover loss that we experienced from vacancy and make-ready cost. However, now with rents staying flat, whatever that turnover cost is, where as property owners, you're going to feel all of that because we're not going to be able to raise the rents to claw back some of that lost cost. So, like I said, you can't rely on massive rent hikes anymore to cover your vacancy cost. I don't believe that's a good strategy moving forward. The market is saying it's flattening out for rental rates. We need to be careful with that. So, because of this, internally at BTS Properties, we are placing a massive focus right now on lease renewals. Like I said, turnover is the biggest cash flow killer, and especially right now, we aren't going to be able to push as big of rent increases during renewal. We may even see in some cases where we are not increasing the rent at all on renewals. The other thing that we're doing is we are making sure that we're providing a great experience for our residents so that they want to renew with us. And we do that through proactive maintenance, clear communication, and resident benefits, making sure that we're just providing a great experience all around for the residents and that they feel taken care of. So if you're an independent landlord, make sure that you are doing those things. Make sure that you're providing a great experience for your residents, getting back to them whenever they reach out in a timely manner, taking care of their maintenance quickly, taking care of it well, and providing a good experience for them as well so that they can, in turn, want to renew and provide a good financial experience for you. So with that being said, if we can be a resource at BTS Properties, this is what we love doing. We love keeping up with the market. We love figuring out how we can provide a better experience for our residents and for our owners. If you're tired of managing that, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'd love to be a resource for you. You can contact us at btspeoria.com or give us a call at our office. With that, we wish you a good 2026 and best of luck out there.